Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's up and what's going on? And happy Money Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. It's Money Tuesday. It is October 18th on this beautiful, sunny, bright day outside at 9:01 in the morning. And guys, I'm excited to be back here. I'm excited to work with each and every one of you, and I'm excited to see what we have in store for today's trading session. Yesterday was a great day, right? Yesterday was a slower day, but it was still a great day. We saw traders coming out strong, locking in some big time profits, and just starting their week off with fantastic momentum. And I want to see everybody bleeding that positive momentum into today and taking advantage of the opportunities that we have, right? The SPY is gapping up. Futures are up. Everything is pretty much in the green. We have top gaining stocks up 78%, 40%, right? Not again a crazy scattered volume, everything's ripping and running kind of day, but we do have a very simple day, a very, again, just clean day it looks like. So there may not be tons of opportunity like we saw yesterday, but we want to identify the best opportunity and take advantage of it right when we see it to not miss that opportunity. Again, very similar day as to yesterday in the market, guys. We had about 15, 20, 30 minutes tops of, again, stocks just really on fire, really setting up, really providing us with amazing trades. Then things really started to die on down. Last night from 2 to 4, things were really starting to die on down. So again, our goal is to get you guys prepared for today's trading session and then set the right expectations. What are the market conditions like? Well, the only thing we can compare this week to is yesterday, right? Some decent action out of the gate, and then things really start to slow on off. So how do we need to approach today? Approach it as if it's going to be very similar to yesterday. So again, what are the top stocks for the day? The stocks that have the best potential. Get prepared, build your plans, and have an idea of how you would like to attack that stock if it starts to develop the way you want it to develop. Have a plan built. Be ready to go. Be one step ahead. Be 2 steps ahead of everybody else. You see that trade, you see that opportunity, attack it, lock in your profits, and then hold on to those profits just in case today is another slower day. I don't want to see anybody locking in amazing profits and then giving those profits back, guys. Okay, so those are the expectations. Those are those market conditions at this point in time based on what we saw yesterday. And right now we have about 4 stocks that look pretty good for today's trading session, guys. So without any further ado, without wasting any more time, let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So again, get y'all prepared for today's trading session. And again, hopefully you guys can lock in some profits and get some nice wins here today in the market. You guys are over on YouTube, all right? Hit me with a big old good morning over on YouTube. And then ladies and gentlemen inside the chat, once again, good morning. I hope everybody is doing absolutely fantastic and that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Look at Alan. He's ready to go. He's getting it. He's crunk. He's feeling himself this morning. That's what I'm talking about. Kits King, Trader Adam, Steve, Willie, Tyrone, Joey. Good morning. Good morning, Steve. You got Deborah over on YouTube. Good morning, Deborah. I hope you're doing fantastic today. All right, everybody else that is going to say good morning, right? I'm going to go ahead and give you a good morning right now, just in case I don't say, hey, good morning. You look great today. You beautiful son of a, you look fantastic. I love your smile. Your hair looks great. All right. You look like you're ready to attack this day. If I don't have a chance to do that, because we're talking about the top stocks and getting y'all prepared, just know that I love you and you look absolutely fantastic. All right. Omar, that's you, buddy. You look great. All right. Let's make it happen. So what do we got going on for today's trading session? All right. So INPX. We're going to keep it very simple today, guys. Keep it very simple, okay? We're looking for a break of this downtrend. That's it. Looking for a break of the downtrend here on INPX for the leg up towards around 976. Okay, so 976. Why 976? Well, it was yesterday's high a day. It's right around $10 resistance, and it's the 50 SMA, okay? I would like to just see a break of the downtrend to get long for this thing to be able to spike a nice little $1.50 to the upside here on INPX. All right. And if we see that happen, I'll probably take it long back up to that resistance level here on the stock. Now, if it ever does break above $10 today, that's when we could really start to have some fun and see some big time action here with INPX, right? We could see the stock back up towards around 1060 and then possibly 1149, which was yesterday's pre-market spiking high. Now, support right now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a zone. You're going to have as low as 685 up towards around this 740 level of support. We can see we came down in between those two levels, and there was a lot of consolidation. There was a lot of resistance and a lot of support in that zone yesterday. So I want to see, what we do down around that zone if we do come back down towards around 680 to 740. Ideally, I would just like to see the stock open on up, not come that low, and get a nice, clean, strong volume break of that downtrend to where we can take this bad boy long, again, back up towards around that 970 level. So right now, we'll definitely be watching INPX for that simple break of the downtrend, and we just want to see that break with some decent volume. Right now, there's really not a lot going on with this stock. It's a little bit of a back burner sleeper play, right? There's no volume. There's no real great opportunity right out of the gate to say, hey, right when we open, boom, we're getting in. We got to sit back and wait to see if that downtrend is even going to break. But if it does, high watch, that's when volume's really going to start moving on in, and we could see some great action here with INPX. So definitely keep this one on high watch. Again, looking for the break of the downtrend. Support between 680 and 742. TikTokers, we are live on YouTube, by the way. Link is in the bio if you guys are interested. All right. Number two, it was our alert from this morning here that we posted on up inside of Levels Chat. So I want everyone keeping FNHC on high watch here in pre-market. We are looking for this uptrend to hold as support and to see a break of that 113 resistance for the next leg up to 130 and then 144. If we crack that trend line, right, we can drop back down towards around 75, 76 cents. What do you know about trend lines? Trend lines are levels of support. Downtrends are levels of resistance, right? That's why we're not going long on INPX until it breaks the downtrend. If anything, you're shorting it here off this resistance level. Same thing with FNHC, right? We are above this trend line, looking really, really nice. Above the trend line, we are bullish, right? You want to take it long as we're above the trend line. Below the trend line, we are bearish. That's when you want to start shorting this. So we came down and bounced off that level of support, came back down and bounced off that trend line support here on FNHC. And then right when we did, boom, back up towards around that supply zone between 106 and 113. So right now, FNHC looks pretty darn good. As long as we hold this trend line, we have great potential to get a break over yesterday's high of 113. And if we do get a break over yesterday's highs, we have a big window of opportunity to the upside. We could see the stock up towards around 130 and then as high as 144. So there's a lot of fantastic opportunity here at this point in time with FNHC. Okay, the best entries were back down around 97, 98 cents, as close to that trend line as possible. Why would our entries be at the trend line and not a break over resistance? For those of you that like chasing breakouts, okay, why would we not want to buy at 113? Why would we rather buy off the trend line? Well, here's the deal. Here's why. If we buy off the trend line and the stock cracks the trend line, we get out, we lose 4 cents, 5 cents, okay? If we buy this breakout at 113, stops still need to go underneath that trend line. How much do you lose? 17 cents. So by buying the breakout, not only do you reduce the amount of profit you can make, you increase your stop loss amount. But if you're getting in at this really good support level, being that uptrend, looking for that higher low to come in, looking for that possible break on out, not only do you get a better cost base to see more profits, you're reducing your risk substantially, right? And those trend lines are great levels of support. And this is a pretty solid, pretty valid trend line on FNHC. Flat resistance at 113, one big ascending triangle formation. So this looks really nice here on FNHC. So would I be buying it right here at 107, 108, 109, 113? It's pretty tough to say I would be buying it here. I don't like buying breakouts because if I get in at 113, 114, my stop losses are below that trend line at $1. But if I'm getting in around $1 with my stop loss below the trend line, I could at least be taking profits here at high a day. And if it breaks, I have a great cost basis to make a lot more profits while keeping my losses nice and small. So if anybody's going to ask, Josh, would you buy it right here? I can't advise that, and I could not recommend it. Because, again, I think the best entry was back down off that trend line when we were discussing the stock here in pre-market, right? And here was the breakdown, FNHC. And this is where the stock was at right at that point in time, right? It was at 98 cents as we threw that little post up to say, hey, keep it on watch, guys. It looks really good for today, all right? And right now there's a new high a day on FNHC. So I hope someone got some cheddar here on FNHC because this stock is now up 18% since it broke $1. It's up over 20% since it came down and bounced off that trend line at our 98-cent level, right around that post at, what time was that? 7:50 this morning. You have $1,000 that you invested. You just made $180. You'd be up about $180 on a $1,000 investment right now at this point in time. That move doesn't seem like a lot, but from a percentage standpoint, that's nearly 20%. That's a pretty big move here in literally just the past 30 minutes. So FNHC is on high watch. We are breaking that 113 level. We have room to 130 and 144, but like I said, the best entries were back down around that 98-cent level right off that trend line. So right now, you got to let this thing pull back a little bit. You're not buying it at 118. You're not buying it at 119. Why is that? Because support is back down at that trend line at this point in time. So sit back, relax, wait for the stock to pull back into a good level of support, build a plan, then make your entries for the next leg on up, guys. Okay, so that's FNHC. Definitely want to keep this one on watch. RMED. Believe it or not, I'm not looking to take this long today at this point in time. I am not looking to take this stock long at this point in time because here's what I notice with RMED. The stock likes to have a quick spike and then dump on down. And I'm not even going to look at this candle because that was a massive gap down. But I'm going to look at this candle. We gapped up, we spiked, and then gave a lot back. We gapped up here massively. We spiked up a little bit, gave a lot back. We gapped up, we spiked, we gave a lot back. I look at this daily chart and I see massive red candle, big upper shadow, massive red candle, massive red candle. Stock's in a downtrend, very weak, getting destroyed. Yes, I know the stock had massive volume yesterday compared to its average. It had 4 million shares traded in a teeny little day. I understand the stock is gapping up. I understand that there is news here on RMED, right? Shares were trading higher late trading session on Monday after the company said it had completed an at-the-market facility that raised gross proceeds of $7.6 million, right? I understand that RMED is a very, very low float stock trading 10 times its average volume. A lot of traders look at this and say, I want to take this bad boy long. Could it be a great long today? Sure, it could. It could absolutely rip to 1073. It could break that gap down high and rip up to 1283 and then fill the gap at 16 bucks. Hey, that's the market. Anything can happen. But I see a little bit of a spike, dumping on off. Big upper shadow. Gap up massively, quick spike, dump on off. Gap up massively, quick spike, dump on off. So I'm actually looking at these upper levels of resistance, right? So I'm looking right around this 903 resistance level. I'm thinking about a short, right? If we ever spike on up at the start of the day into a level of resistance and we start to sell on off and we have that nasty upper shadow and it looks like, oh my gosh, yeah, this thing's going to dump, it's going to sell off. That's not the type of price action you want to see for a long. If that's what we see and we ever start to crack this little trend line as well, you best believe I'm taking it short. I've already located 10,000 shares of short. It was super cheap. It was really, really cheap. It only cost me like 50 bucks to locate that many shares to where I can play with this stock a couple of times today if we have quite a few opportunities really set on up. So I am looking to short this stock based on what I see here on the daily chart. And I went ahead and paid 50 bucks to go ahead and get some shares to short today just in case we see what we've seen over the past few months. Okay, so that's my short idea, and that's my short opportunity and plan for today here on RMED. Okay, but if we ever break over 9, I see our next major level of resistance at 10 and then 1073. So if we break over 9, hey, we may just play this long up to $10 resistance and then 1073 and see what we look like today and ever see if we get that good short opportunity. But if not, there could be some great opportunity to the long side, right? Over 9 bucks, we have room to 10. Over 10, we have room to 1073. And support right now is back down at $7.65, guys. So you got $7.65 support, pre-market high resistance, daily resistance right around 903, and that's kind of where I want to start a short position if we see that quick spike, and then it starts to drop on off here a little bit. But at any point in time, we break over 9, we know we have room up towards around 10, and then 1073. But if we get that spike out of the gate, we start to sell off, and then crack this trend line, I'm looking to short this back down towards around 765, 725, 690, then back down at these lows at 644 here on RMED, guys. Okay, so I definitely want to keep this one on high watch. ATXI. What do we got going on with ATXI? There's no news. There's no filings. This stock has just been moving a little bit Friday and today. So, right, we gapped up. We spiked a little bit there on Friday, and then we dumped on off. We gave a lot back. We chopped around a little bit yesterday. Not too much. But what did we just see take place here on ATXI? Well, ATXI just came through and broke its downtrend. Now we're starting to get some great action to the upside. So, yeah, let's definitely keep ATXI on watch. Again, from Friday, didn't really do a whole lot there end of the day. Didn't do a lot yesterday, but now we did have a nice break of the downtrend. We saw a really nice volume move in, and we're starting to see a little bit of action here on ATXI. So, right now, let's see if we can hold above this 390 support level. I'd actually say back down at yesterday's high. Let's do that. Right around 375 here on ATXI is going to be support. If we break above 420, these pre-market highs, that's where we're going to see a lot of volume really start to move back in to ATXI, guys. Okay, where could we see ATXI go? Right, so we do have that 374 support. Right, we could also look at Friday's spiking high. If we ever get back above Friday's spiking high, right around 405, that could turn into an intraday level of support. But looking at this daily chart, where do we see potential? Where do we think the stock could go today? Well, I see room up towards around the 50 SMA and that 20 EMA. So that's going to put you right around 462, right at 483, and then you have $5 natural resistance here, guys. Okay, so just keep in mind there's a decent amount of resistance overhead, but still there's some good potential to see the stock move on up. Now, is this one of my top stocks for the day at this point in time? No, it's not, right? I definitely look at FNHC and see much better potential. This stock looks great. It's clean. It's consistent. It's predictable. I look at RMED. I look at that daily chart. It looks clean. It looks very predictable. I see a lot of fantastic opportunity here to the short side. And if it's not a good short today and it starts ripping, there's a lot of great potential to the long side. So this stock has a lot more volume. It's more clean. It looks a little bit more consistent. Seems to be a little bit more predictable. It's a nice low float, trading fantastic volume, and there's a catalyst. There's a reason for this stock to be moving on up. So I really do like RMED today. I think there's great potential. I think FNHC has fantastic potential. Again, this was one of our top stocks here in pre-market. And then I look at INPX and say, hey, this could be a nice back burner sleeper play. Right? It was a little bit of a sleeper play yesterday. Out of nowhere, boom, it rips from $8 to $10. Right now, we're sitting above support. We're building these higher lows. A break of the downtrend is where volume moves in. Boom, we could see another big spike to the upside. Nice little back burner sleeper play. There's 3 stocks right now that look fantastic. Okay, ATXI, it definitely has potential, but I want to be a little bit more patient with the stock because, again, it was pretty choppy on Friday. It was very choppy yesterday. And while it looks better today, it could turn into a chop fest once again. So just be mindful of that here on ATXI. But we'll definitely keep it on watch and see if it ever sets up and gives us any good opportunity for today. Right? And then lastly, we got ZVO. If ZVO ever breaks 29 cents, you have room to 37 cents. Right? So you're just looking for a break here on ZVO, a break over 29 cents. And once again, you have some room up towards around 37 cents. Here on ticker ZVO, guys. Okay, support right now back down at 22 cents. Now, why is ZVO even moving on up today? There's no reason, guys. There's no filings on the stock. There's no news on the stock. It just started to get some really great action from around 15 cents this morning, hitting these highs of 28 cents. So again, be mindful of that. No news, no filings, no catalyst, no daily chart setup. It's not like it's a prior day mover where we're seeing momentum and another day of continuation to the upside. right? It's just a pretty random mover. But again, volume could really start to move on in over 29 cents. And we've been seeing a lot of these stocks really get some great action to the upside. There's no news. There's no reason. It's just a random stock. And some of these stocks end up being the most consistent stocks and opportunities for the day. So we'll definitely keep it on watch over 29 cents up to 37 cents. We have some great opportunity. And right now, support is back down at 22 cents at this point in time, guys. All right. So what are you guys asking? We got RMED. You can only hear in one ear. All right. Let me fix that real quick. Fear the Gamer just made $567 on FNHC. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Is it Tuesday? Yeah. Did I say it was Monday or something like that? I didn't think I said it was Monday. If I did, then I... All right, we're good. You can hear me now. Sounding beautiful. Sounding absolutely, absolutely fantastic. You like that? All right, good. I'm in both of your beautiful ears now. All right, so we're all good. Deanna's asking about GPOX. Yeah, let's go take a look at GPOX real quick at this point in time. GPOX, GPOX. I mean, the stock's not moving whatsoever. And pre-market, again, oh yeah, OTC stock. It's an OTC. I don't really look at OTCs, Deanna. It's just one of those things. I don't look and I don't trade OTC stocks. So just from a pure technical perspective, you got room to 250 today, right? You break over $2, you can see a spike to 250 and then 260, right? You ever start breaking that 260 all-time high, you can start really seeing this very, very low flow, light volume, low liquidity stock really great, really get some action, right? It's been moving pretty nicely, right? 20 cents all the way to $2. It is an OTC stock, something that I will not trade as I don't trade OTCs, but a simple break over $2, you start to see those buyers step on up over $2. That's when the thing could really start to move on up towards around 250 and then 267. And then over that, those are new all-time highs. The sky's the limit. $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. Not saying that's going to happen, but when we're in a new all-time high, the sky is the limit, and you just have to look at those natural levels of resistance, right? That'd be $3, that'd be $4, that'd be $5, the second strongest level for a stock to get above. Then it's $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. And those are going to be your natural levels of resistance for something like GPOX if we ever do see it break above that 267 resistance. All right. PBTS is watching, worth watching. PBTS. If we have any news on PBTS, if we have any catalysts, any breakdowns, feel free to post those up, guys, right? If you guys see anything like, hey, support's at 20 cents, resistance at 21 cents, looking for the break over 21, we have room to 24. You guys are more than welcome to throw your analysis inside of chat. More than welcome to do that, guys, right? So yeah. PBTS, yeah, you can watch it today over 21 cents. You know, breaking 21, you have room to 24 on PBTS. Absolutely. So definitely keep that one on your back burner, guys, if you want. Yeah, let's go discuss the SPY and the Qs real quick. So here's what we got going on with the SPY. So the SPY actually just broke above that gap level. So you take a look at that daily candle from October 6th, right? That massive rejection off our 20 EMA. And then we had that massive gap down in that dump. So we are breaking above that 373.18 at this point in time. That's an area that we want to keep the SPY on watch, is above 373.18. Now, if we start to crack below that 373.18, take a look at your daily chart. Where do we see this thing being able to come back down to? Well, I would say those pre-market lows, which is right around Friday's high a day, and it's also right at that 20 EMA. So I would say right around 370. The low 370s is the next best level of support if we fall back down below 373. But I also want to point out we have a really nice uptrend here on the SPY from yesterday. So we may not come all the way back down to that 370 level, as we may hold these higher lows and continue this uptrend into our next level of resistance. And our next level of resistance is right around 377. up to that 380 level, right? So that's a nice little supply zone that we have drawn up here between 377 and 380. That is going to be pretty strong resistance here for the SPY, okay? And once again, support is going to be right here around 373.18. That's a light level of support. That was the low of day from September 22nd. It was the high of day from October 7th, and it was also the close before that massive gap down there from the 6th into the 7th. So that's going to be a pretty strong level of support, right? 373.18. We start to crack below that level, back down around 370, and I see potential up towards around 377 to 380 today here on the SPY. And also, we have a nice little uptrend from yesterday's low before we started to really rip on up here in futures, here in post-market and pre-market. So keep that trend line on watch as well, okay? And then the Qs, same thing, right? You got a nice little trend line from yesterday. So go ahead and draw your trend line off of that low from yesterday. Run that bad boy on up. And again, keep it on watch. We have a decent little trend line. We connected here in post-market. We connected here in pre-market. This is still a valid trend line. There's so a few different things here with the Qs. So the Qs actually haven't filled the gap, right? So from the 6th into the 7th, there's a massive gap on the Qs, right? The SPY is actually already above that gap level, right? From the 6th into the 7th. What was the close before the gap down? The close before the gap down was 373.18, right? We're above 373.18. But take a look at the Qs. The Qs gap down from 279.66 all the way down towards around 275.11, right? We have yet to fill that gap. So that's going to be a very strong level of resistance here intraday for the Qs is going to be that 279.66 level. Okay, support right now is back down at 275.11. Why is it 275.11? I always like to back it up so you guys can see what I see. Spiking high from September 30th. Spiking high a day from October 3rd. Low of day from the 5th, and it was also where we opened after we had that massive gap down. So we're going to have very, very strong support at 275.11. We're going to have very, very strong resistance at 279.66. High a day, right? You see a lot of resistance and support. Then it just so happened to be where we closed before that massive gap down. So again, those are your two levels to really play off of today here on the Qs. And I see better opportunity with the Qs than I do with the SPY. So I'd be primarily looking at the Qs today over the SPY as I see some better potential to see some bigger types of movements here on the Qs, guys, right? But again, just to recap, these are our top pennies for today that we'll be watching right at the start of the day, guys, right? FNHC number 1, RMED number 2, followed by INPX for the break of the downtrend, followed by ATXI above 375 support. And then we got ZVO for that possible break over 29 cents up towards around 37 cents. All right, guys, we are all set, ready to rock and roll. We got about 30 seconds until our day starts. Let's have an awesome day. Let's make it happen, and let's lock in some big-time profits, guys. Right now, RMED is the number one stock that has all of my focus right at the start of the day, and we have just about 16 seconds till the market opens on up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, over on YouTube, enjoy your day. Happy, safe trading, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care, guys. All right, team, traders, ladies and gentlemen inside the chat, you guys ready? Because I'm ready to make it happen. I'm fired up. I am ready to attack it. Let's see what we have going on here today, especially with RMED right out of the gate. A 1 to 10 reverse stock split, right? So you have a 1 to 10 reverse stock split with AGFY. And AGFY was already a stock that was doing pretty well over the last few days. Now we have a 1 to 10 reverse stock split that just went live today.